In this episode, I'm going to talk about one of the business myths that I hear time and time again that causes so much trouble for so many trades business owners. And that is about your Xero file. It's fine, isn't it? Is what I hear all the time. And in most cases, it is not. And Xero is an amazing bookkeeping program. Now, I've used Xero in my bookkeeping business, Efficient Tradie Bookkeeping, for over 11 years now. I think it is an amazing system and one that as I said, I've used solely for that amount of time. If you don't use Xero, then these same issues could apply. So when I talk about Xero, just insert your program that you're using there, but same issues apply. So as I said, the common thing I hear from my trades business owners is, my bookkeeper didn't tell me this, or my accountant didn't do this, or I had no idea that this was wrong. So when clients come to work with us at Efficient Tradie Bookkeeping, the first thing we do always is a Xero review. And what we do in that Xero review is we go through and we categorize. Green is good, yellow needs some improvement, red, critical, needs work now. Now, I have never ever had a file that hasn't had red areas in it, and most files have a large chunk of red, and what that means is that the data that you are seeing in your Xero file is incomplete, incorrect, not up to date. And if any of those things are occurring, then of course the numbers that you are making business decisions on are going to be wrong, and therefore the decisions you are making are also going to be wrong. Now, again, as I said, I see this time and time again, and recently we've had a run of clients who have come to us and got themselves into quite a bit of trouble from the ATO perspective, from getting behind, from just disorganization, because their Xero file looked at first glance okay, but it actually wasn't, and that's what a Xero review will uncover. So after we've worked with our clients to do the Xero review, and then from there, if there's anything red, then we have to do a repair. And the things we hear all the time is, thank you, we had no idea that it was this bad. Or no one has taken the time to explain this to us before. We didn't even realize that it could have been set up that way. And then most importantly, we get the, oh gosh, thank goodness that we come across this now, because imagine the problems that could have occurred if it just keeps snowballing. So what I want to cover off today is the three main issues that we see when we are doing a Xero review, and what the problems are if you just think your Xero file is fine. So clients usually come to us with cash flow issues, hence why they come and work with us for Profit First. And Profit First is amazing and absolutely can turn it all around. But I always tell them the very first step is a Xero review. And often the response is, oh, but it's okay, it's fine. Like, we're up to date with our BAS, our end of year has been done, it's cool. We don't take on any clients unless we do this review, because we know from experience that is not the case. And what we do, as I said, is we go through an extensive checklist to make sure that we go through every single section of Xero and make sure that we uncover anything that might look fine but it's actually going to cause problems down the track. The second issue that I see with clients is they want to fix it later. Yeah, we know the Xero file's not quite up to date. We know a few things aren't quite right, but we'll fix it later. We'll worry about it later. I'm too busy. I just got to get through this big job. Insert reason here. If you think about your Xero file as the piers of your home, so when a new slab is being built, the piers have to be positioned and set out correctly, and they all have to be done in a particular way according to the plan. You can't just whack the slab on and then fix the piers later. We all know that is a disaster, and we all know that is a huge expense. If you think about your Xero file as the piers of your home, then we need to fix those first before we go ahead and do anything else in your business. If you try and fix the cash flow problems in your business without looking at your Xero file, you are wasting time and money when you need to come back to those peers. those foundations have to be solid and have to be correct. The third issue that I see often is that the tradie has no idea where to start. They're completely overwhelmed and they just want to stick their head in the sand and keep on doing what they're good at, which is totally understandable. But what you need to do is just know that there is always people out there who can help. There's always specialists who can help with whatever situation it is. Now, I happen to also have a bookkeeping business where we specialize in this, as well as my Profit First coaching business. So the reason why I have my two businesses is I originally started my bookkeeping business because I thought I was going to be able to change small business owners' lives by getting them on Xero and making it all simple and efficient. What I then found was that we could get that all up to date and done, but the missing piece of the puzzle was the profitability and the cash management, and that's where Profit First come into it. So now when I get clients come to me from a Profit First perspective, I do always take them back to, let's review your Xero file, let's review those peers and make sure they are right before we go ahead and do anything else. So if you feel like you're out of your depth with this, if you feel like you wouldn't even have a clue whether your Xero file is fine or not, then maybe it's time to reach out and we can have a chat about that. So as I said, so many people don't realize that their Xero file is actually a bit of a disaster, a bit of a train wreck. And again, Xero's been around for 14 plus years, but I am seeing more and more Xero files that are in a worse state than I was, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And that could be for many reasons. And the reason why doesn't actually matter. We just want to help you fix it, help you identify what's wrong and help you fix it. So then you can make sure that the hard work that you're doing to get the jobs and do the work, you're actually going to be able to keep the money or keep more of the money. So if you're not even sure if your Xero file's right or not, or if you're thinking, I know it's not quite right, but we'll get to it later, or you've got no idea where to start, I highly, highly recommend that you book in a chat with me. We'll have a 15-20 minute chat. I'll go over some key steps in Xero for you. We can see what is wrong at a quick glance, and then we can take it from there and you can decide whether you want to come on board and work with us so we can help you get this on track, or if you want to leave it. Obviously, my suggestion is not to leave it because that will just make it worse. So if you have an inkling that your Xero file is not where it should be, then please, I would love to chat. Book in a call, let's have a chat. It can't do you any harm. At least you will know the next step. So if you're that tradie that's like, I've got no idea what to do, book in a chat with me.